if you had asked me, what song could we open with that would immediately make you want to set fire to every single copy of this movie? Without hesitation, I would have said Daniel Powter's Bad Day. Now I need to order a ton of gasoline. This tree is surprisingly healthy for being mostly hollow. Nothing against Justin Long, Matthew Gray Gubler, and Jesse McCartney getting work, but since all the movie is gonna do is put the voices through a chipmunk filter, why the need for name actors? Also, they cast the one professional singer as Theodore instead of Alvin. Us McCartney heads did not appreciate this at all.
I need pants. Pants are essential.
Man living alone is always late for appointments and can barely get himself dressed before walking out the door cliché.
I haven't seen you since, since you said you never wanted to see me again.
Seemed like you two had a pretty serious falling out. I would imagine that any sort of relationship, even friendship, will require more than writing a song for a trio of talking chipmunks. And I would be wrong.
How about we get together and talk about the new Dave over dinner? Tomorrow night, my place. Great.
Nice try, Dave, but I can't foresee that working.
I guess I'm just a little nervous about coming over for dinner.
Holy sh**.
Ian.
Mr. Seville, can I offer you some muffins, scones, pastry? We also have an omelet station.
Movie tries to pad the runtime with continental breakfast.
It's awful. I hate it.
This movie? Ditto. Never be so sad about being denied access to the muffin basket that you don't notice the other bowl of pastries right there on the second shelf. It looks like there are croissants, maybe even a blueberry scone. For the rest of the movie, these chipmunks won't be able to sit still long enough to contemplate not causing a scene, but this whole tree gets decorated without anyone noticing them inside. Nobody in the lobby notices this because they filmed Alvin, Simon, and Theodore live, but the humans were added in post. There are still muffins in the basket Dave is carrying, even though there have been 3 hungry chipmunks in there for the entire ride home. Dave tries to piss off the HOA. Normally I would say, f*** the HOA, but Dave is a dick, so I'm on their side, forcing Alvin into a chipmunkatooey situation. Brought to you by Barilla. Dave does not have to undergo concussion protocol after this. Also, putting popcorn in a glass jar on the top shelf.
You guys, he's dead! Don't panic! Wipe everything down! I'll need 3 garbage bags, a shovel, some disinfectant.
Oh, the hilarity. Alvin knows how to get rid of a body, even though no one is going to suspect or pursue a group of chipmunks for Dave's murder. But it's funny, so laugh, you fools.
Chipmunks can't talk either.
Well, our lips are moving and words are coming out.
Simon would be the chipmunkiest at CinemaSins. Takes Dave all of 3 minutes to accept that his new reality includes talking chipmunks.
You guys can sing too?
That's not singing.
Oh, but it was singing. All of this equipment currently getting rained on will still work because he dried it with a towel.
When you're a chipmunk, your parents take care of you for a week, then they take off.
I don't know what kind of chipmunk these guys are in general, but most chipmunk species head off to college at something like 2 months old. Also, chipmunks reach sexual maturity after about a year, so y'all are clearly operating on a different time scale, you pity party assholes.
Hey, be careful with that. It's a collectible. I got it for Christmas last year.
If it's a collectible and Dave is that concerned about its well-being, then why did he take it out of the package?
Christmas! We love Christmas.
Loving Christmas.
We start work tomorrow.
Being less than 24 hours into finding out about talking animals and already having plans to exploit them for economic gain. Also,
We're kids, Dave.
you're skirting child labor laws.
Now go to sleep.
Dave puts the chipmunks to bed before discussing important things such as, do they know how to use a toilet?
I hope Christmas comes fast.
My college girlfriend also loved the holidays.
Try these. How's that?
Wow.
Conveniently having the same eyeglass prescription as this Santa doll. Right now they are singing the Chipmunk song, aka Christmas Don't Be Late. And while I'm sure that this was a banger in the 50s, I highly doubt it would be the breakout hit the movie is claiming it to be in the year of our Lord 2007, whether sung by man or beast. Also, my irritated ears would like to remind you these f***ers have made 57 goddamn albums, and you're getting a sin for every goddamn one of them. Wearing a suit with sandals, or just wearing a suit.
You know what's weirder than that? A grown man bringing another grown man a big box with a bunch of chipmunks in it who not only speak English, but can sing.
Yet here we are.
Little situation, Dave. Theodore vacuumed up Alvin.
The problem with the chipmunks in this movie is that they are incessantly getting up to these hijinks, and they aren't the least bit likable. Dave very well could have pursued his dream of writing pop songs and kept what appears to be a well-paying job, but instead of being prepared for this meeting, he stayed up all night writing a song and making a diorama, none of which needed to be done with any sort of urgency. I feel no sympathy for Dave. He could have had his cake and eaten these chipmunks too, but he's an idiot.
You got me fired.
No, movie. You need to clearly unpack how full of shit Dave is. He knew the stakes when he let the talking animals into his home. He was the one who answered the phone during the meeting, and he was the one who botched the presentation. He is the master of his own destiny, and he sucks at it.
We didn't know.
What you guys do know and what you don't know changes so often to fit the plot that it's a waste of time to try and hold you accountable for it. And yet, waste my time I shall.
Oh my God, Theodore, did you just...
It's a raisin, Dave.
Prove it.
Movie has Simon eat a literal
She is not my mate. She's my ex-mate.
It's honestly not hard to see why after half an hour of this movie. Her still deciding to come to this dinner that was forced on her might be the most unbelievable thing that happens. And we're talking about a movie with talking chipmunks.
No pressure, nothing weird.
Oh, baby.
The timing of Alvin turning on the stereo is so uncanny one might think Claire manifested the weird thing herself, when in reality the script is just replaying Billboard's top 40 cliches.
I wasn't sure if you thought that this was a date or something.
Case in point, this classic rom-com hit of one character thinks it's a date and the other thinks it's not a date, even though it kind of sort of is a date. We just have to play the whole will they, won't they for most of the movie because that's the kind of cotton candy shit we think puts butts in seats cliche.
Tell her she completes you. It works.
Great, just what the world needs. Another asshole with a never-ending supply of movie references.
My life is being sabotaged by talking chipmunks.
You haven't changed at all.
Dave could so easily show Claire the talking chipmunks, but instead lets her leave thinking he's crazy because the movie still has an hour left and is desperate for some built-up tension, whether it's necessary or not. Also, if making claims about talking animals is part of a pattern that Dave has exhibited before, Claire shouldn't be angry as much as she should be worried. I might even suggest contacting his family.
Idea. Ding, 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 ding.
Movie thinks that outside of Tequila being released by the Champs, anything of importance happened in 1958.
Hello? Hello? Kids.
Ian doesn't pass out or shit himself after finding out there are singing chipmunks in his house. No one in this grocery store bats an eye at Dave having 3 chipmunks in his shopping cart.
Tell me you've heard the song.
Yeah, I'm listening to it right now, but I mean, how did you, when did...
Speed of business, baby.
Well, he wants us to believe that Ian, in less than 24 hours, got the Chipmunks to record the song and then got the song released to radio. And I'm calling impossible space-time movie magic bullshit on that possibility. Apparently, this is a parallel universe where human adults accept talking and singing chipmunks way too easily. That universe. This movie only makes sense as an allegory where the chipmunks are demons whose sole purpose is to punish Dave in a hell of his own making. You know, for kids. Dave's convenient ability to sew is convenient. Also, why is Alvin the only one that gets a letter on his sweater? If Dave was going to play favorites, surely it would be Simon or Theodore. They are way less asshole-ish.
So, what do you think?
I think this is a f***ed-up looking stick. Based on the dates Simon recently crossed off the calendar, we know it's at the very least December 18th. So the sin, as always, is waiting till the last minute to put up your Christmas tree.
Huh. My wallet.
Brought to you by the American Express Gold Card.
There's savings bonds.
There was a way to make Dave fiscally responsible and not an asshole, but the movie chose violence instead. Also, there has never been a Series 2 savings bond offered by the U.S. Treasury. Also, is Dave under the impression Alvin, Simon, and Theodore can just walk in a bank and withdraw money without raising an eye? I know they were easily accepted in the music world, but what would they do with cash if they had it? Where would they store the cash? How are they even opening up a bank account? They don't have social security numbers.
Thanks, Dave.
What was the point of ringing the doorbell if said doorbell ringer is just going to come barge in the house anyway?
Ian?
Chipmunks on the MIC! Witch Doctor!
This modern update to the Chipmunks classic Witch Doctor can't mask the bizarre racial undertones, possible misogyny, or the song just not being very good to begin with. Also, Dave had
1 week to write me a new hit single.
And this is what he came up with? Where could the inspiration for this have even come from? Makes no sense as an expression of his relationship with Claire, and I find it hard to believe he was just sitting around thinking about witch doctors. These 2 women are singing the lyrics, "You've been keeping love from me, and that's not very smart," implying that either they have already had sex with the Chipmunks or are looking forward to doing that at a later date. Bet that with a lot of kids' heads in December of 2007. When me and my friend hit the dance floor, we always do it uniformly and in a way that gets your money's worth out of the crane shop.
This is, Alvin, Simon, and Theodore.
Dave doesn't finish this comment up with, the chipmunks that I was trying to explain to you were talking to me, and instead of giving me the benefit of the doubt or enough time to show you what I was saying was true, you ran out of my house and my life. Dude had a full second of screen time and chose to make this face.
Ian, they're just kids.
No, they're rats. And they could make us both so much money.
Movie thinks that by making Ian an even bigger dick, we will forgive Dave for bringing the chipmunks into this world by exploiting them himself.
Has anyone tried the chocolate meatballs? I'll probably go into insulin shock, but it's worth it.
Since chocolate can be a powerful cardiac stimulant in small animals, you are just as likely to have a heart attack. Also, I can't figure out if it's weirder that Simon has diabetes or that this movie is telling diabetic kids it's totally fine to eat a bunch of sugar.
Dude, you're a rock star. You're supposed to be spoiled. I mean, you should be riding in limousines and private planes.
Ian is a walking cliche of a music executive verbally diarrheaing cliches about the music industry, while butt vomiting even more cliches about stardom.
She's also a masseuse.
I don't like any of the subtext in this room right now.
Major rock stars.
What the hell's going on right now? Did Ian show up with a bunch of toys and sulfur hexafluoride?
Dear fellas, I'm sorry, but you should go back to your real home in the forest.
The Chipmunks find the crumpled paper that Dave threw earlier. It's all very convenient. And that maid is terrible at one of her jobs.
I do have one rule. That there are no rules!
That is not a rule.
Why didn't the airbags deploy?
Why do you know what airbags are? Why do you know what most of this is?
Coast to coast in 5 days.
Just this snippet of the tour schedule covers more than 5 days. Then you hit Chicago, Detroit, Cincinnati, Buffalo, and New York.
If the chipmunks like crunchy nibbles, your pet will love them.
Why would the Chipmunks like crunchy nibbles? They've been eating human food this entire movie. Also, pet food that doesn't specify which pet it's for. How's the peeping, Claire? How's the peeping? Claire.
Guess what your Uncle Ian brought you? Coffee.
So what you're saying is that the version where he brought them cocaine didn't test well.
And 2 pumps of chocolate.
For someone invested in the success of the Chipmunks, he sure does try to kill them at every turn.
I feel like P. Diddy with fur.
Wild to think that this line of dialogue is the most problematic part of this movie when you're watching it in 2024. And we already explained the racist misogyny in regards to the Witch Doctor song. This is the fakest, most low-rent moon I've ever seen in any movie.
That's it.
I mean, the concert isn't until that night. Dave still had time to complete his shave. Why would he go out on the town with only one patch of his 5 o'clock shadow shaved? Why would Dave do that?
What I'm talking about is having you guys lip sync. You just have to make sure that you mouth the words exactly like we recorded them. Otherwise, people know.
Considering how small the Chipmunks are, who in the audience is going to be able to tell whether or not their lips are moving correctly? Why haven't they been lip syncing the whole time?
Oh, come on.
This guy must have a master's in hanging signs for dramatic rejection.
It's okay, he's with me.
Claire ex machina. The crowd is in disagreement about where on stage the controversy is. Some think it's to their left, some think it's to their right, and some think it's in their own mind. Someone thought this passed as playing the bass. Someone thought this passed as playing the drums.
You guys better study your French because you're going to Paris tonight.
If they need to learn French to perform in Paris, then I feel like they should have already been working on that for the past several weeks. Starting to think Uncle Ian expects too much and is not a great manager. Dave's car doesn't get rear-ended when he slams the brakes on a busy LA street.
We were talking chipmunks, Dave. We can get out of a cat carrier.
I don't see how those two things are even related.
I know, but I really missed you guys.
Skip! No.
Claire!
So excited we're going to get to find out what happens between Dave and Claire. That wasn't an unneeded subplot or the worst part of this movie at all. Premature champagnation.
You still not gonna say it?
Nope. Oh, I'm gonna say it.
With all this build-up, you would think he was about to cast a spell or some shit, but nope, he just yells,
Alvin!
It's not even like it's the first time it happened in the movie, and we were all waiting for it.
Sing for your Uncle Ian.
Not even in 2007 did you need real singing animals to make this work. Just CG your favorite woodland creatures and use some holograms like the gorillas.
Why won't you sing?
It's almost just as impressive Ian got 3 squirrels to just sit there while he plays the piano. This album exists.
This job sucks.
Oh, now you attack my libido?
There's no libido to attack.
No libido to attack?
Where are we?
No, I know we're not in Kansas.
How about a shot of wheatgrass juice?
How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard?
It's creepy, unnatural, somewhat evil.
Just like his mother.
You guys can sing too?
That's not singing. This is singing.
Good.
Wanna see what we colored?
No.
The wiring in my unit is shot.
I'm talking about my uncircumcised penis.
I totally understand it. That kid is back on the escalator again.
Yippee-ki-yay!
Motherf***.
Whatever. Who are you guys to judge me?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!